大谷翔平、凱旋アーチで東京ドーム熱狂、ドジャース開幕連勝発進、ロサンゼルス、ドジャースがシカゴ、カブスに連勝、中でも主役の大谷翔平、ドジャースが母国日本で見事なホームランを放ち、会場を沸かせた。情報元、スポーツネット LA、中継の MC 陣は、大谷が打席に立つ瞬間の東京ドームはまるでゴルフ中継のような静寂さ、その後のホームランで大歓声に変わる瞬間が圧巻だった、と現地の雰囲気を伝えた。また、MLB デビューを果たした佐々木朗希についても、制球はまだ不安定だったが、時速100マイル超えの速球と鋭いスプリッターで可能性を見せた、と評価した。さらに聞け、ヘルナンデスが、まるで WBC やラテンアメリカのウィンターリーグのような熱狂的な応援、野球への情熱は万国共通だ、とコメントし、特別な日本の雰囲気を称賛。現地を訪れた MC 陣は、大谷人気の凄まじさを改めて実感した様子だった。続いて、昨日の試合を振り返る MC 陣のトークを日本語字幕付きでお楽しみください。
Two up, two down for your Los Angeles Dodgers. Hello, everybody, and good morning. Welcome to another episode of Dodgers Territory. That is sleepy-eyed Clint Pasillas. I am not as tired, Alana Rizzo on the East Coast, talking about your Los Angeles Dodgers. Clint, they did it. They went out to Tokyo, had a tremendous time, played the Cubs in 2 games that mattered, and they are coming home for the domestic opener after the LA Angels series, up 2-0 to start the season.
Yeah, we had a little bit of everything in this game. We got some Shohei Ohtani giving the fans what they want, which is a bomb. Roki Sasaki, okay, limits the damage in his debut, but most importantly, the Dodgers take both games, like you say, against those Cubs, and they do so without the services of Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman. Everything you could ask for as a Dodger fan in this series.
Yeah, 162-0. Here we come, trying to run this back and doing it, of course, without Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman. Hopefully, they'll both be ready for the domestic opener on the 27th against the Tigers. Roki Sasaki making his Major League Baseball debut in his home country. As you mentioned, Clint, limited the damage. I was a little concerned about how erratic it seemed to be. I mean, he threw he did okay. He threw 56 pitches, but only 25 of those, Clint, were for strikes. So a little more than half, or a little less than half, rather, were for strikes. A lot of balls outside of the zone. I don't want to be Will Smith because you have no idea where his pitches are going. But what is your assessment of the first real outing that counts for Roki Sasaki in American baseball?
I mean, all things considered, he gets through 3 innings, allows just the 1 run, walks in the 1 run there. In the 3rd, avoids damage there, further damage, getting that strikeout as well in the 3rd with what looked like a slider. I think they called it a slider, but again, okay, not good, not great. 5 walks in there is a little less than ideal. We knew there would be some work in progress with Roki Sasaki. There would be some growing pains in there. I'm sure the nerves were pretty, on edge there, making his debut, MLB debut back in Japan. But he gave the Dodgers what they needed. I think you and I were talking about this on Monday. Just give him 3, give him 4. You got enough bullpen arms. You got enough guys that are kind of stretched out to just survive a 2-game series before you enjoy a flight back home, you enjoy your beds, you play 3 meaningless games and the season starts back up again. So I liked what I saw, and there's some good room for improvement for Sasaki.
Yeah, he walks in a run there, but leaves the bases loaded on a huge K to end the 3rd. Justin Yama saying, good luck to other teams. You have to stop the world just to stop the feeling. I love that, Justin. Everybody, welcome. Great to have you guys with us. Make sure you like and subscribe, rate us 5 stars, tell your friends, tell your neighbors. We're so happy that you're with us. So Justin Steele picks up the L for the Chicago Cubs, and Landon Knack and all of his show flow picks up the win for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Again, another impressive outing by this Dodgers bullpen, Clint.
Yeah, I mean, another one. Good, not great early on. Luis Garcia making his Dodgers debut. The veteran allows the run there we see on the screen, the run with the 2 hits. Nothing major. Jack Dreyer, kind of, I'd blame him for his 1 earned run. I'm surprised it's an earned run. It felt like an error to me, considering a hit off of his glove, so he could have escaped that inning clean. But otherwise, the guys you want being clean were clean. Vesia, a little bit of a tightrope there in the 9th. Kirby Yates clean in his debut. And you didn't have to go back to back with guys. You know, we didn't need to see Blake Treinen back out there. You didn't need to see Tanner Scott going for a second save. Again, everything.
Yeah, we
you
saw
want
guys
out
like
of the
Luis
series.
Garcia.
Yeah.
Sarah, our producer, and I were like, "Who the hell is this guy?" Like, and I know that he's a veteran reliever or whatever. But I mean, that's the beauty of this Dodgers team, is that you don't have to blow out your big arms in back-to-back games when you have so many complementary pieces. This is a funny description too. Philip Fountain joining the program, friend of the program. Roki was shaky and nasty at the same time. I love that, because you don't necessarily have to have your best stuff. You can have nasty stuff, even if it's not your best day on the hill. That's one of the better descriptions I've ever seen about a guy that has, 100.5 miles an hour, but doesn't necessarily have the location, the pinpoint location we're looking for.
He's got the velo. We know the splitter is nasty. Just doesn't always know where everything is going. And again, this is part of what the Dodgers signed up for and why he came to LA. He's going to keep refining his game. We'll probably see take some real assessment after 5 or 8 starts before we really know who Roki Sasaki is going to be to open his career. Right now, they're at that point where go out there, throw with what got you here, throw with what made you such a desired commodity in free agency. I guess we can call it free agency. And if they need to implement some changes, they will. Otherwise, 100 miles an hour still plays up, whether the fastball is straight or not. 100 miles an hour, still pretty dang good fastball.
Yeah, you got to know where it's going though. So Will Smith is like, "What the heck? How are we doing this back here?"
Yeah.
But no, it was a good offensive day too. Again, in the absence of Betts and Freeman, so it's only going to get better in terms of the Dodgers offense. Be honest, did you think Shohei actually went yard?
Yeah. I mean,
did you?
Joe gave us a little bit of a ride on his call for sure. Let's play the tape here in that Ohtani bomb, because it gave us a little bit of everything: the pomp, the circumstance, the excitement of an Ohtani at bat in Japan, and it sounded gone. It sounded tank 99. You see him kind of worrying, maybe.
He didn't know though. He was like, "Oh, I'm not sure."
and then I was like, that was hit pretty dang hard to be hitting off the wall, but it hits off a fan's hands. Thankfully, the call was a home run, so they don't overturn
not enough
that
to
call.
Overturn it, right? Yeah.
And listen, to me, right there, that's past the line. That's getting over the line. That's hitting somebody just about in the waist or in their junk if it gets over the wall. So it's a homer to me. That's a show homer. That's a Shohei bomb, his first of the 2025 season.
What was not questionable was Kike's. Good Lord. He hit that thing. I was like, oh my, Kike. Welcome to 2025. I mean, that was in no doubt, or almost on the same pitch that he fouled off before. But man, that was a tank.
Yeah, that's a Kike bomb. He ran into that one. Good way to get off the schneid for 2025. A fan favorite out there everywhere, Mr. International, Kike Hernandez, and unloads 2-run bomb. I think it was a 2-run. Maybe it was a solo shot. No, 2-run bomb, because there's a guy on base, and usually that means 2 runs.
Yeah, that was a multiple run home run. What do you mean get off the schneid? It's the second game.
It's still over.
2025.
Still over. You're going to feel an over. You go up, you see on the scoreboard, over, you see 0, 0, 0.
It's game 2.
That's the most important thing. I want to go back to Roki for a second, because I did see a comment here. Sealer9 in our chat says the overreaction to Sasaki all season long are going to be all time. 23 years old, never pitched in MLB before. Going to take a while to adjust all the way. And I think that's going to be a big thing for all of us. Just give him some grace. It's going to take a little bit of time. If this is, I don't know about a bad Roki outing, you take this outing. You take this outing any day of the week when we're talking about Roki Sasaki. You also take the Dodgers being scrappy with the bats here. We see how they, I don't know how it got shrunk there, but we'll fix that for everybody. Doing a little bit of everything to get on the board.
Ball.
Yeah, a little bit.
You know what I like too is that Max Muncy speaking of Max Muncy there on second base with Hernandez up at the plate. Max Muncy on Foul Territory yesterday told the boys that the team themselves said to Roki Sasaki, "Listen, there is no pressure on you, man. We got this. We got your back. We have you defensively playing behind you. We have you with the bat." So that's a veteran move right there. When a team, whoever it was that initiated the conversation, said, "Listen, you don't have to go out there and be the man. We understand the pressure. You're 23 23 years old. You're new to this, the culture and everything. And I get that he was pitching in Japan, but he's pitching for an American team and he's trying to show out for his team, right? You're trying to show out why everyone and their mother wanted Roki Sasaki on their roster. And he showed that. But I love Max and the veteran move there of saying, listen, you got 25 other guys, and really they brought 31 and the coaching staff that is all behind you. We got this.
Absolutely. That's what this team does. A bunch of veterans, going to welcome everybody in. Just try to put people in the best position to succeed, and defense can help them out. Offense can help them out. And Roki, just go out there, do your thing. And how about this? Before we throw to our friends at Spot and Tango, did you have on your Dodger 2025 bingo card this guy with the first homer of the season? That's right. Thomas Tanks going yard right here.
I didn't have him as the first home run, but honestly, I'm not surprised. This guy's just a ball player, right? We talked about it yesterday. I mean, you look at him in stature and you may not think that he has the power that he has. But man, I tell you what, he took that ball and he just smacked it over that left field wall, giving the Dodgers a 3-0 lead there in the top of the third against Justin Steele, who, by the way, God bless him, but he looks like he just got out of bed. He looks so shell-shocked. Poor Justin Steele. And I want him to be healthy. I want him to be good. He's good for the game. And obviously the Cubs desperately need him. But Tommy Tanks, he's just a ball player, right? You talk about, he's baseball-ish. He's hitter-ish.
Yeah.
He has the power. He can do all of the things.
He's a guy
I love
that's
that he's on this team.
He's a guy that's straight up a dude. He's a dude.
He's a dude.
He's a dude for 5 more years. That's pretty good.
I love it. And honestly, my dog Bentley loves Spot and Tango. We appreciate Spot and Tango for being a friend of the program here. She loves it. I give her, I'm allowed to give her 4 scoops a day. I give her 2 scoops a day in addition to some other stuff, and she loves it. So Spot and Tango is good stuff. It is unkibble, if you will. Does Doobie like it too, Clint?
Doobie is a massive fan. He'll actually listen to me more when I have the unkibble there. We're on the cod and salmon, because it changes up their usual. We've got 2 dogs here, so it changes up the usual meat palette for them. I want my dog to feel special, and he definitely does with Spot and Tango. That stuff that's some good stuff.
It is good stuff. All right, let's talk.
Use the links, guys.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So Dodgers take the early lead in the second inning. Smith walked, Muncy doubled, pass ball, Kike sac fly. We talked about that. I think this is a good indication, too, of kind of just trying to scrap together runs, right? I mean, Yesterday they didn't really get things going until the 5th inning after they got Shota Imanaga out of the game, so they took advantage of the Cubs bullpen. Today it was kind of, a back and forth situation there where they were able to, you don't have to necessarily rely on the home run, although they got 3. But just kind of found a way to win, and this is what you're going to have to do. It doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you get the W at the end of the day.
Yeah, everybody's stepping up. And again, like we already said at the top of the show, without the services of Mookie Betts, without the services of Freddie Freeman, finding a way to scrap together some runs, putting up 6 in this game, and a little bit of everybody. Also, Teoscar Hernandez not a factor in this game. Of course, big factor in game 1, but everybody doing something. Kike Hernandez with the Bomba there. Tommy Edman in that 2-hole doing good stuff. Shohei Ohtani doing really, really good stuff with the bat. And Will Smith. Let's shout out Will Smith for a second, because I do want to give some love for his hot start, because we do see a 1.528. Sorry, numbers are hard sometimes, but a 1500 OPS as Smitty is putting together a hell of a start to his season and quieting up some of the haters or the question mark people like myself who are like, hey, we're worried about that ankle. Are you feeling good? Is everything right at home? All that kind of stuff. But Smitty, both of these games, really, really nice stuff here. And if he's able to be back to what we've seen in the past when he's right, especially early season Will Smith, that is huge for this team, because just a couple years ago, this was a guy who was hitting cleanup. So if he's hitting somewhere 5 or 6 in this order, having him, he's not going to post the 1500 OPS for the rest of the year, but to have him right, have him feeling good, have him dancing on second base, the Dodgers are going to be in a very, very good spot.
It's funny because I love him, but he's not the most flamboyant human in the world. So when you see him having to do that thing with the thing, he just looks like so uncomfortable, right? You know who else I want to give a little bit of props to, Clint, is Michael Conforto. Because again, I think the Dodgers signed Michael Conforto because they wanted to lengthen the lineup, right? We talked so much last season about how the bottom part of the order just wasn't producing and you're relying way too heavily on 1 through 5 to get the offense going. Michael Conforto today, 1 for 3, batting .286. I put no stock in the first 2 games in terms of numbers and statistics, but I like the fact that he is able to lengthen that lineup and give you a quality at bat from the left side.
Hey, some people might forget the name Michael Conforto. He was a very, very good player when he was younger with the New York Mets before injuries kind of derailed his career. Had an okay season with the Giants last year, but he's just the right type of player to come here to the Dodgers and be a part of this the Dodger lab that we had a chance to see out there at Camelback Ranch, but also things that this front office is able to do, the coaching staff, the hitting coaches and all that, things they are able to identify and get players back on track. Conforto could be the next Jason Hayward type of dude, or Teoscar. I don't throw Teoscar in that. I'm going to put him more in the Jason Hayward category rather than the Teoscar Hernandez category, because Teo was good. He was still pretty good in Seattle, and he's been good all of his career. Conforto has fallen on hard times. So like we're saying, if we're looking at somebody that's a little bit lower in the lineup, somebody that can help this lineup, lengthen the lineup
Yeah,
out.
but I think you're forgetting one key factor. It's like when you get to the Dodgers, you just reinvent yourself, right?
Yeah,
I think a lot of these times, when you're on other teams, you have so much pressure because they don't have the depth that the Dodgers do. And it's like Michael Conforto knows that he certainly, if you look at that lineup, he certainly doesn't have to be the man. So he can be the guy that is, he can be himself is what I'm trying to say. So sometimes when you come to the Dodgers, you just kind of like have this ability to kind of like reinvent yourself. And the Dodgers seem to find success in guys that, haven't had it in the past. Let's talk about this really quick. By the way, happy 37th birthday to the GOAT, Clayton Kershaw. Today is his birthday. I will never forget Clayton's birthday because it's also my grandmother's birthday. She has passed, but I will never forget that. So let me say happy birthday to Clayton. But there was a couple of roster moves, Clint, before the game today. The Dodgers recalled Matt Sauer. They placed Kersh on the 60-day IL. Not a shock there, coming off of the surgeries. And they optioned Justin Robleski.
No, these are nothing burger moves. We knew Kersh was going on the 60-day at some point in time. Robleski did not get into game 1. Should be somebody who's at AAA to open the season so he can stay lengthened out and stay, built up to be a starter. And Sauer, it was either going to be Matt Sauer or Jack Dreyer or Luis Garcia in today's game. They went with Garcia, and Dave went with Garcia, and Dave went with Dreyer in this game. But he'll be around for a little bit, and then once other guys get healthy, Evan Phillips gets healthy, be a non-factor. But still, some roster moves. Dodgers staying busy early on in 2025 here. So I'll ask you
feeling
this.
Pretty confident? No, let me ask you. You feeling pretty confident? To up 2-0. We haven't even seen Blake Snell and Tyler Glasnow Oppenheimer yet.
I mean, you have to feel confident taking two games abroad. Seeing some of those numbers, seeing some of these stats, I'll throw them back up on the screen there. Ohtani off to a nice start. The Smitty off to a nice start. Edman solid in there. Conforto and the pitching. We know the pitching is going to be an absolute strength for this team moving forward. So I feel really, really good. What I'll ask you, what did we learn from this series? A series that we can kind of call meaningless, but at the same time, the games count.
Oh, I don't think it's meaningless at all. I think it's it's a good statement piece if you want to look at it that way. This to me shows that the Dodgers don't have that proverbial hangover, that the Dodgers aren't looking forward to just the domestic stuff in the 2025 season. This is a team that wants to dominate. This is a team that isn't ready to settle. I mean, Will Smith even told us when we were talking to him at Camelback Ranch that he's still hungry. We talked about these guys having the World Series championship and some young blood, but even the guys that won last year that were on this team, what's better than winning once? Winning twice. And they want to continue this dominance and this legacy. And even Miguel Rojas told us that, listen, he wanted to be a part at 36 years old. He wanted to be a part of what he believes to be one of the best teams ever assembled in Major League Baseball. And this is a sport that's been around a really long time. So that's one thing I take away from it. I think it's amazing just to once again illustrate the depth that the Dodgers had. If you told me that we were going to go into this series against a Cubs team with Shota Imanaga and Justin Steele without Betts and Freeman, I would have been happy with the split coming out of that, and they won both games. So it shows me the versatility again of that proverbial V we talk about with this team off the top. That's what it shows me. It shows me that Yamamoto and Roki Sasaki are huge pieces. Still some work to be done, of course. But it shows me we are what we thought we were. You know, that's what it shows me.
And still an incomplete team. Again, like I was just saying, you're still missing some pieces. The bullpen is incomplete at the moment. We haven't seen the rest of the starting rotation, but this is a team that is well built. The fruits of Andrew Friedman and Brendan Gomes' labor in the offseason is going to show through this team, through the depth, through the ups and downs of 162. Maybe this team goes 162-0. They're not going to do that, but they're off to the right start, being 2-0 so far.
Yeah. Before we say goodbye, so when we were at spring training last week, AJ Pierzynski was with us because we were hosting Foul Territory from all of the camps, and we were in the Dodgers clubhouse, you and I and AJ, and Tony B from West Coast Multimedia, and AJ was telling everybody and their mother, anybody that would listen, that he was going to sell his hand because he shook Ohtani's hand as well as Sasaki's hand. Well, so did we. We shook Yamamoto's hand and Shohei's hand. But you know what? We're not important because apparently everybody can shake Shohei Ohtani's hand. There is a replica of Shohei's hand in his hometown in Japan. And you can go and you can shake Shohei Ohtani's hand. Now, this is a little creepy because she's rubbing the outside of his hand. Like, she's super psyched about this. But we're not special, is my point. And you, too, can go and shake Shohei Ohtani's hand.
Why? Why do people listen? I mean, I understand he's a superstar. This is an international superstar, but creepy, I think, is the correct word here. I don't want to. You know what would be
really creepy is if it shook your hand back. Like, what if it started moving? Oh, yeah.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm out on this. That's a big no for me, dog.
Yeah, that's a big no for me, dog. All right, speaking of being out on that, we are out. Go back to bed, Clint. You, I know, are tired. It's like
boy.
What? It's like 5:19 there. I don't even know what time it is.
6:19 right now in the AM on your AM dial.
All right, Clint and I are back on our regular show on Thursday. Okay, thanks for being with us today. Again, like, subscribe, rate us 5 stars. We appreciate you guys as always. Go Dodgers. We'll see you Thursday.
バイ。
大谷翔平、衝撃の凱旋ホームラン炸裂、世界を再び驚愕させる規格外の才能が東京で華麗に爆発した。まさに野球の神が舞い降りた瞬間だった。2025年シーズンの開幕を告げる歴史的な東京シリーズ、ロサンゼルス、ドジャースとシカゴ、カブスのメジャー公式戦が開催され、日本中が息を飲む中、誰もが待ち望んだ男が、やはり主役の座を奪った。その男の名は、我らが誇る日本野球界最高の至宝、大谷翔平である。記念すべきシリーズ第2戦、大谷は4番指名打者として出場した。東京ドームを埋め尽くしたファンは1球ごとに期待を膨らませ、彼がバットを振るたびにどよめきが巻き起こった。そして迎えた運命の瞬間だ。完璧なスイングから放たれた打球は一瞬でファンの視界から消え去り、スタンドへ一直線に突き刺さった。場内はまるで地鳴りのような歓声に包まれ、大谷は悠然とベースを一周した。東京に降り立った怪物が放った今季初ホームランは、その飛距離と破壊力で圧倒的な存在感を見せつけ、ファンの胸を熱くさせた。大谷の放った打球は、スタンドのファンの手に触れてホームランと判定された。一瞬、混乱も生じたが、球審のホームラン判定により疑問の余地なく認められたのだ。まさに神が与えたホームランだったのだろう。大谷が放つ打球には、なぜか常にドラマがつきまとう。運命の子である彼には、野球の神々すら味方するのかもしれない。そしてもう一つの注目ポイントは、今回の東京シリーズで華々しいメジャーデビューを果たした日本が誇る剛腕、佐々木朗希の投球だった。佐々木はメジャー初登板という大舞台でやや制球を乱しながらも、3回を1失点で抑える奮闘を見せた。球速は164キロを記録するなど、驚異的なポテンシャルを十分に示しつつ、まだ若干23歳の若者らしい荒削りな一面を垣間見せた。しかし、この東京シリーズで最も際立ったのは、 やはり大谷翔平という存在の偉大さにたならない。初戦では快音が響かずファンをやきもきさせた大谷だが、続く第2戦、早くも彼本来の破壊力が目を覚ました。ホームランという形で日本のファンに大きな恩返しを果たした彼の姿には、まさしく野球界の生ける伝説という称号がふさわしい。昨シーズンもメジャー史上初となる二刀流の完全制覇を成し遂げた大谷。その圧倒的な実績にも満足することなく、彼は今季名門ドジャースの一員として新たな伝説を作り始めている。開幕直後の重要なシリーズでチームの看板選手であるムーキー・ベッツとフレディ・フリーマンを欠く厳しい状況にもかかわらず、大谷はチームを牽引し、東京での2連勝をもたらしたのだ。しかし忘れてはならない大谷の凄さは打撃だけではなく、その正確無比な投球術にもある。彼がマウンドに立つとき、打者は絶望に追い込まれる。抜群の制球力、160キロを超える強し速球、魔法のように落ちるスプリット、そして鋭いスライダー、そのどれをとっても世界最高峰であり、投手としても紛れもない超一流だ。東京シリーズでは投手としての登板機会はなかったが、その訳、ファンは次の登板をますます待ち望んでいることだろう。これほどまでに打撃と投球、2つの才能を高次元で併せ持った選手は、野球史上に大谷翔平ただ一人しかいない。まさに彼こそが、現代野球における奇跡そのものである。東京シリーズを経て、大谷翔平の偉大さは改めて世界に知れ渡った。彼がユニフォームをまとうだけで、その試合は特別なものになる。野球界の歴史に名を刻み続ける彼の戦いはまだ始まったばかりなのだ。東京での華麗なホームランは、これから始まる長いシーズンの序章に過ぎない。メジャーリーグという厳しい舞台で大谷がどのような新たな伝説を築くのか、我々ファンは息を飲みながら見守ることになるだろう。試合を終えて現地から届いたニュースによれば、大谷は試合後も謙虚にこう語ったという。まだまだ始まったばかりです。これからも全力で戦います。と、この姿勢こそが、大谷がなぜ多くのファンに愛され、尊敬され続けるかを物語っている。そして次回、彼が登板する試合ではどれほどの驚異的なパフォーマンスを披露するのか、誰もがその瞬間を待ちわびている。日本中の野球ファンよ、世界中の野球ファンよ、これから続く大谷翔平の活躍を決して見逃してはならない。今シーズンも大谷の一投一打から目を離さず、彼が描き出す新たな伝説をその目に焼き付けようではないか。